father? Who is your father? Who is your dad? Luke, who is your father? Who is your father? Let's try and guess.
Let's try and guess. Is it him?
Is it him?
No way, it couldn't be him.
He looks nothing like Luke.
But I don't even know what Luke looks like.
Who?
Who, Luke?
Is it her?
Is it him? Who's he?
Who's she?
Who's them?
Who?
Is it
Hitler, Shakespeare, Jesus, is it you?
Let's hear from Luke.
Guys, who is my father? Who is my father? I just don't know. Guys, show me my father. I need to find him. I don't know where he is.
My name is Luke Rees, and I lost my dad when I was 19. The Empire has been notified, but I need Richard and Ray's help. Please help me find my father, guys. Please.
Okay, so we've each got a candidate for Luke Who's Your Father today. Earlier on in the show, had a bit of a nasty surprise.
Yeah, found out we both
Rich
had the
went out
same
to
one.
the toilet. I researched my Luke Who's Your Father.
Yeah.
Rich came back and told me he'd already prepared that person.
Yeah.
Of all the people we could have chosen, so who was it, Rich, that we both chose?
Mr. T.
It was Mr. T.
Don't you think he was a bit inevitable?
Well,
Don't
he
you
was
think
inevitable.
At some week.
At some week.
We were
because,
going
you know,
to-
I'm a big Mr. T fan.
In fact, your email address is I pity the fool.
Yeah, and I've got my Mr. T in your pocket keyring.
Yeah.
I don't actually use it anymore because it's broken.
Oh, don't you? Well, I've got a little bit of an equivalent of that. So that's I've conducted an interview with Mr. T.
Oh, okay. You actually managed to get hold of him ahead of time.
Yes, it's
All right, then.
pre-recorded.
Should we
So there's going to be no
Rich?
bed. And he wasn't too happy about this. So
This is Rich's interview with Mr. T.
So, Mr. T, it's a pleasure to be with you. I kind of have to raise the issue of the paternity test. That's largely why we're here.
This fool talking about now.
Oh, well, come on, Mr. T. I'm just. There's been allegations that you are Luke's father, and in fact there was a paternity test, wasn't there? There was a paternity suit. So
You just a crazy man seeing things that ain't there.
Whatever. What are you talking about? I've been trying to find out who Luke's father is, and the quest has brought me to you.
You do, I'll come back and feed you your socks.
I don't know what you said. I don't know what you're talking
What on earth
about.
did he say there?
I'm not sure. But eventually, I sort of said, well, look, Mr. T, if you're not his dad, who is then? Hannibal? No way. Well, no, I don't think it's him. Murdoch? Come on, you're just shooting in the dark now.
You got a problem with that?
Yeah, it's not Murdoch. It's you.
Crazy fool.
No, I'm not. Look, are you Luke's dad?
Yeah.
Rich, can I just say, having been acquainted with the difficulty of using a soundboard, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Well,
Clearly
thanks.
20 minutes of preparation in there. I bet you're rehearsing that in your room this morning, isn't it? That's why you were late.
I was practicing with the soundboard. No.
No. Well, the thing is with you preparing a soundboard, Rich, is that my candidate now inevitably seems rubbish.
Well, what do you
How
mean?
am I going to compete with a Mr. T soundboard? How am I supposed to compete with that on equal footing?
Well, who's yours?
I've conducted a fake interview with Mr.
Who's
T.
yours?
Oh, great. I had to change my choice at the last minute, and I've had approximately 5 minutes of thinking time,
Yeah.
in which I've been doing other radio things to prepare an argument for why Paul or Barry Chuckle should be Luke's father. Now, we're all familiar with the Chuckle brothers. All right, Rich, okay. Right, I'm going to turn you off in a minute.
No,
Because I'm in the on and off seat.
Don't. Go on.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Why
So I'm
the
suggesting
Chuckle Brothers?
the Chuckle Brothers. Now, oh, that was my phone.
Yeah, go on.
Someone no doubt immediately voting for the Chuckle Brothers. It might be Zoe listening.
I don't know. Let's see.
If so, it's just in time.
You've got
she
2
can vote.
messages from Zoe. Well, okay, Ray,
Okay, so Zoe's listening. So
come on.
she's missed out on your biased.
I think she heard it. What are you talking about? I interviewed Mr. T.
Okay, so for those of you just tuning in, Rich has presented a case for Mr. T being Luke's
The conclusion of
father.
which was, Mr. T, are you Luke's father?
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's cut together from clips he said in the A-Team. I think you've taken footage from his hit TV show.
well, I know
and
you'd
cut
get
it
like
together.
this. I know you get like this. So I asked him to
Take it easy.
give you some advice.
Take it easy.
So you managed to say that twice with exactly the same intonation.
Yeah, he did.
He's good at that. He's an actor. Okay, so
Do you know what, Ray?
Begin to get on my nerves.
why don't you and Mr. T just do the show, Rich, huh? That's clearly what you want. Why don't you just sit there with your soundboard and I'll go and have some tea. No pun intended.
I've got my own tea. Right, so go on, Paul and Barry Chuckle.
I'm going to go for Barry Chuckle. The older
I
of
thought
the
you were
two.
just going to go for both.
Both. The Chuckle family.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're all familiar with the Chuckle brothers from Chuckle Vision. To
Chuckle Vision.
Yeah, it's a bit rubbish.
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I watched it when I was little, and I loved it. And then I came back to it about 3 years later when I was a bit old to be watching Chuckle Brothers. I loved it all
Loved
over
it.
again.
Yeah? Maybe I should go back to it. Anyway, so we all know them from Chuckle Vision, but the Chuckle family, it's not actually their real name.
Oh.
They're quite the family of dark secrets. Because not many listeners will know that Paul and Barry Chuckle actually have two other brothers.
Yeah.
They're not really called Paul and Barry Chuckle, are they, Paul and Barry Elliott?
So what are you suggesting that the...
Well, I'm suggesting that if they can cover up their names and two extra brothers, I mean, Chuckle Brothers should be a four-man show. Admittedly, that would be very difficult.
Oh, that'd be annoying.
To me, to you, to you.
Him, to them.
To him, to them. It could be useful for kind of teaching kids grammar.
Yeah.
To me, to you.
That'd be good
to
for
him, to them.
teaching English.
Yeah. But that was never the purpose of the Chuckle Brothers, really.
They're just there for a chuckle, weren't they?
Teaching how to lift pianos
So,
humorously. Okay, so they've got two other brothers. Their names are
the Patton brothers.
the Patton brothers, Jimmy and Brian Chuckle.
Jimmy and Brian.
So they actually apparently have their own...
They have their own...
No, actually, they don't seem to have careers, do they? I think they have a Wikipedia page because they're the other Chuckle brothers. Look, notable works and roles, Chuckle Vision, and that's not them. They've starred in many a pantomime over the years.
Jimmy was the one who... No slacking. That's one of the Chuckle brothers. One of the Chuckle brothers is the Chuckle brothers' always boss. You know, the guy, he's always their boss in every week's show.
So that was them.
I'm no slacking. Ah, so
So they are involved, just kind of disowned.
yeah, just not so.
Okay, so my point is, the Chuckle brothers can successfully disown their own brothers and their own family name to further their ruthless media careers. You're playing another Mr. T sound clip, aren't you? What is it? Is it quit your jibber jabber?
Well, I was just wondering what Mr. T thought about the Chuckle brothers.
What does Mr. T think about the
What
Chuckle
do you
brothers?
Do you think?
What does Mr. T think then?
No way, fool.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I stand no chance here. Okay, maybe if I had a big Chuckle Brothers soundboard where they said, "Shut up, Rich," then people would be a bit more convinced. Okay, so they can easily deny their parentage of Luke.
Yeah.
You know, they're about the right age to be Luke's father, either
No,
of them.
they're not. They're a million years old.
Where has
aren't
this
they?
come from?
We've just been taken to no.com.
It's a sign.
Inexplicably.
I think it's the Chuckle Brothers. The webpage changes to no.com.
Just as
you,
our Chuckle
Wikipedia.
Brothers, Luke's father, the page took us to no.com.
All right. Okay, you know what? I've had enough. All right, send in your votes. You can either text me or write on Richard's Facebook. I think our listener count shows we've got 3 listeners.
Okay.
So
Let's
we should be able to have a solid 2-2. It's going to be 3-0, isn't it?
Either Mr. T.
So either Mr. T as Luke's father or Paul or Barry Chuckle as Luke's father. So you guys vote and we'll get one of them in the studio.